So what's good, YouTube? You're on Natasha Nisha. Welcome to the channel. I mean, today's installment. This one's just an encouragement, and yes, just a few tips that can help you if you're currently in a season of loneliness. So, yeah, we'll be unpacking how to cope and master the season of loneliness. So, from the top, did you know that this, excuse me, season is actually a blessing in disguise? So, mostly it comes to how you look at it. Perspective and mindset is always key. So, let's start with some few questions. Are you currently in a season of isolation, and where it just feels like rejection and you're feeling like all alone, you hating the loneliness? So, I've been there, and just want to remind you that this too shall pause. The season does pause, and encourage you also to embrace it, and it is a season reminding you also that it is a season of protection and preparation. So, in the season, it's wise to apply yourself and do whatever work is required of you. You will know yourself what that work entails, you know. And then also, like, let God lead you through the season. So, excuse me, I come to this topic because of a realization that I had this morning. So, like, currently, I okay, fine. Currently, I'm like out of the season. I'm currently relocated to KZN, like with family, and yeah. So I just feel happy for the experience and what have you. But I also noticed that like there's lots of distractions and demands, for my time, for my energy. Um, and then I had the realization this morning that, I so needed that lonely season, that season of isolation. And that was where I was able to introspect, heal, grow, evolve, level up, like on such a whole other level. And I realized that I wouldn't have been able to do all the work, and bring myself to this place. I wouldn't have been able to do it otherwise, like with a full life of family and friends. I wouldn't have been able to do this work, this purpose work, this most important destiny work, this integral work, this deep work, it wouldn't have been possible had I had a full life. So, yeah, and like there is just something I like realized, and then yet again it brought me to this place of gratitude, super grateful that, like I went through what I did, and I am here today, standing where I am. Yeah, I can only be grateful for that time, and thankful also that I was able to use it wisely. So this, by ordering my days, by planning and executing my plan, and like redesigning my life, and those are some of the ways I utilize this time, that season. And there's so many reasons that we can find ourselves in this season, of loneliness, of isolation. But I just want to remind you to see it as a setup and not a setback. A setup for so much greater, And mindset, as I said, is always key. The perspective, how will you look at it? Glass half full or glass half empty? So, if you're a believer, you know, in Jesus Christ, then we know His word tells us we're never alone, because He says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. And it's just a reminder also, in his word, he says, like, I know the plans I have for you. And we know the word says his plans are good, to give us a hope, a future, etc. So, yeah, so while you're in this season of loneliness, just want to remind you to enjoy the peace, because it's going to be peaceful you alone. And that's also mindset perspective. How do you see it? You know? So see it as peace. See it as peace. Tap in, or some things to do. Tap in and reconnect with yourself, get reacquainted with yourself. And it's a great time also for self-care, like learn how to love yourself and accept yourself, all of you, quirks and all, in this time of alone. There's nobody to judge you, and maybe stop judging yourself, and then also it's a great time to, do a life audit. Like, where are you currently in your life? Like, is this where you want to be, where you'd like to be? What, steps do I still need, to reach whatever goals I have? This is short term or long term goals. It's a great time to do a life audit and set up some goals, and see how far along you are toward some of your goals. And then journaling is another great habit to maybe pick up if you're that way inclined. I found that this helped me de-stress and unpack just the day's happenings, and like, it makes you lighter, because then it's not all this mental clutter. It's written down, and then it opens up so much space to focus, design, your life, imagine, etc., dream, etc. And also, this journaling helps keep you on top of your thoughts, your mood. You can pick up and notice any patterns in behavior. And then it helps also that you can catch anything early, like, maybe because of the loneliness, maybe there was a impending depressive episode. You could have picked this up early had you been journaling. So with that all being said, just want to remind you that, like, during this time, to trust in the Lord, with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding, is what the scripture says. And in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Yeah, your path today, through the season, and unto your destiny. So that's all for this one, your conversation issue. But before I leave, I must encourage you and remind you guys, please, would you consider subscribing to the channel? Okay, if you found any value, I would appreciate it if you can subscribe, and check through my playlist on the channel. Yes, and then it's all for this one. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.